Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about what kind of exercise to do for anxiety. What exercise is the most important for me to do? I remember asking that question at a conference that I was at for sports medicine a long time ago, and the expert who was talking was Scott Bliven from the Navy. He was the medical doctor at the Navy at the time, and his answer actually changed my career. It was such a cool, profound, interesting answer, and I am going to share that answer with you at the end of this video. Before we do that, let's talk about exercise as medicine. You might not have heard the term exercise is medicine, but it's an actual organization and movement that does research on the effects that exercise has on the body. And that was something that I was really into early in my career, and I did a lot of research on how exercise, our physical activity, reduces physical symptoms of physical illness, things like diabetes and things like heart disease. But exercise has also been proven to help with mental health issues like depression and anxiety. I don't have to tell you this because you can probably feel it. When you take yourself out for a little walk, you probably feel a little better. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Some of the reasons are green spaces, decompression, being outside on your own, grounding, sunshine, fresh air. Some of those things are also the endorphins that happen when we move our body. So when we move our bodies in certain ways, we change the chemistry in our bodies, in our minds. We've covered this a little bit in some of the other videos here on the channel. So the tapping, the shaking, breath work, all of those things change the chemistry, both in our bloodstreams, in our muscles, in our metabolism, and in our brain. Changes the way we use hormones, the way we feel about ourselves, the way we feel about our environment, and it can be highly, highly effective. So I'm going to give you in the links, in the show notes here, I'm going to give you the link for Exercise is Medicine, so you can look up any other research that you want on that topic. Now, what kind of exercise is good for anxiety? Specifically, because exercise does do different things for the body depending on what type of exercise you do. Harvard gives us these 5 benefits that exercise can have specifically on anxiety. You ready for them? Okay. Exercise helps divert your thinking from whatever it is you're obsessing about, from anxiety. So it just takes your mind off of it for a while. So that's the first one. Number 2 is exercise decreases muscle tension, which can definitely help with anxiety. Okay, good. Number 3 is getting your heart rate up changes your brain chemistry. We just talked about that. So it goes into a little more detail. I'll put this link for this research article also in the comments below as well. Number 4, this is a cool one, exercise activates the frontal region of the brain, which helps you process stress better. And number 5 on their list is that exercise helps you become more resilient to emotions. So that's a good list and it makes a lot of sense, but it's also very high level. And in this, it actually doesn't even give us the right answer for what type of exercise to do for anxiety. And that's because there really isn't one. It's up to how you're feeling. The goal for exercise for anxiety is to regulate your nervous system. And if you have a lot of anxious energy and it's all up here and you're feeling really heightened and flighty, the real goal is to get you back down here where you're feeling calm and centered. How you get there is going to depend on how you feel. If you can go right into a low, slow, active, calm, meditative yoga class and get into that regulated nervous system, do it. Most people cannot, me included. If I'm in an activated, anxious energy state, I need to match that energy until I burn it out. So what works for me, what works for my clients, what works for a lot of people are these 2 exercises specifically. Something real heavy or something really fun and fast. Let's talk about those 2. Real heavy. What I'm talking about when I'm saying real heavy is something that really makes you exert your muscles against force, something that really feels like work, something that really feels like work. So if you're like pulling weeds or you're pushing a boulder up a hill or you're doing squats or you're doing something considered a compound lift, which means more than just one body part is involved, that's going to feel like exertion. And that's a great way to get energy out. And it's also a really good way to ground, because when you're picking up something heavy and you're holding on to something heavy, you feel grounded, especially when you're holding onto it, because that weight is pulling you down into the ground, and it's really good for our nervous system. Squats, particularly, are a great compound lift for this. Careful with your body. If you already have an injury, a knee, ankle, or back injury, this is something that you'll want to really be careful with, and you might even want a professional to help you with the mechanics of a squat before you try it on your own, especially if you're doing heavy lifting. But if you are in tune with your body, in touch with your body, you know how to do a squat, and you're feeling really anxious, this is something that you can start with. Put the weight up to something that we consider a 5x5. So something that you can do 5 sets of. Feels pretty tough. It's not your PR, but you can do that 5 sets 5 times. And that is really grounding. So something like a back-weighted squat where you're really allowing this energy and pressure on your body, and you're exerting energy and pressure up against it, will help you feel grounded in your body and can definitely help you alleviate stress and anxiety. The second kind of exercise is something fast and fun. So think like ultimate frisbee or sprints or a 5K, something that's maybe a little bit social, or something that you can really just get out there and go. A lot of times when we're experiencing high physical anxiety, not just mental anxiety, but like we're crawling out of our skin and we really need to do something about this, it's going to be in our teen energy. So before I talked about fear, the root of anxiety, fear mostly coming from our inner child. And when we're meeting the fear of our inner child, we want to meet that with a really calm, really compassionate self-talk, like a mantra or a meditation. When we're looking at anxiety from a body perspective, where it really just feels like I've got like so much energy that I want to get out, that most likely is going to be coming from a teen energy. And the best way to do that is to do something fast and fun. Run, exert, play basketball, play soccer, run a 5K with the colors and stuff happening, and do something that you really can just like push your body to the limit with, and also have a good time with. Again, this is not everybody. This is you that we're talking about. So if running is just not in your wheelhouse, find something else that you can do that feels fast and fun. If it needs to be low intensity, it can be like dancing. If you turn on a song and you just move your body and you get your heart rate up and you shake it around, then you can get some of that energy out. But the 2 main exercises that really help for anxiety are something heavy or something fast and fun. Really slow and heavy, really fast and fun. Okay, back to what I was talking about earlier in this video. What is the right exercise for me? So here I am. I say, hey, what's the perfect exercise for me to do? And this doctor in the Navy says, the exercise that you will do. Okay. This is the pivotal moment in my life where I stopped being an exercise physiologist and I ended up being a behavioral expert, because it doesn't matter what the exercise is. It only matters if you do it. So the best exercise for you to do for any reason is the one that you will do. Take a minute to check in with your body and ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? Do I need a heavy something to do? Do I need to grunt it out? Do I need a fast something? Do I need something playful? Do I need to just go and like run it out? Am I already just like so up here that I'm exhausted and I really just need to bring it down? Whatever that is, do it. Do it for yourself. So exercising for anxiety isn't really about doing the exact right, perfect exercise that science has backed for this kind of neuroscience, because that might not work for you and where you're at right now. That worked for whoever was in that research project that they studied. Part of the, a good portion of people, it might have worked for them, but you weren't in that research study. So the best exercise for you to do for your anxiety is any exercise that you feel that would help you. Try it out. And if it doesn't help, try something else out, and then take a note and say, oh gosh, this helped. So the next time you start to feel anxious, you can say, ooh, that helped last time, let me try that again. And then you start to build an arsenal of tools that you can use for yourself that do work, okay? So next time you're feeling really anxious, your energy is all over the place, ground with some heavier squats, run it out, and then really steep in the benefits after, which is that grounded, calm, neutral nervous system that we're looking for. When you feel that nervous system relax down, that's when you know that you're back into that state. And then take some time really there to slow down and savor it. And we'll see you next time on the next video.